along the shore. I comb the dune grass through my hands, lift my gaze, ferret stays, till to circling eagles land.
My name is Kathy Sever. I'm the owner of Fort Lonesome. Fort Lonesome is a custom Western wear and chain stitch embroidery company in Austin, Texas. Chain stitch embroidery is a specific type of machine embroidery that's done using special machines that were developed in the late 1800s that make a chain stitch. So it's like a daisy chain stitch, but it's done on a machine that has the ability to steer where you're going so that you can use the machine sort of to draw like you would with a pencil on paper, but it's with thread on fabric. It's been a long, funny, winding pathway getting to where we are now. When my daughter was born and I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to stay at home and simultaneously make a living, I started a small line of children's vintage-inspired Western wear. I realized that I was not necessarily programmed for running and managing a clothing line. One thing that I realized that I could do was utilize the skills that I did have in terms of garment making, and I could focus on making custom Western wear so that I was not trying to mass market anything, but then primarily using my design skills to work up custom embroidery for my clients. That was when the machine came into my life. I did see that there was a hole in the market, so to speak, for showcasing these machines. The embroidery became more of the focus of the business than even the garment making was, which I felt like drew on more of an organic skill set that I had and something that I was actually more interested in sustainably developing as a career. I was shocked at how enthusiastically people were absorbing what I was working on. I quickly found that I could use some help.
My name's Dana Falconberry.
My name is Christina Hurtsmith.
My name is Amrit Khalsa.
The four of us just kind of dove in and started trying to figure out what at the time was a business model that didn't exist. There was no chain stitch embroidery based / custom garment / art, whatever. That wasn't anything where there was nowhere we could look to find guidance in that regard. We did have all kinds of people in the community who were mentors and extremely helpful. But at the time, the four of us were really just kind of digging in and working extremely hard and trying to figure out how to make it all work.
Run, little crooked river, run down the mountainside from whence you've come.
The environment in the beginning was a little tough. It was a tough transition because we started in Kathy's house.
The early days definitely felt like we were in a band together. We would go kind of on tour and sleep on people's floors and like set up our machines and do some stitching and hope that we made a little money and then go get some beers.
We'll go and do something at a festival for the first time. No one's ever done that before. We're gonna take our machines and stitch on your stuff at a music festival. No one knows if anybody cares about that. No one knows what anyone will pay for that. No one knows like how to get your machines on the plane. Nobody knows any of that stuff. And we're gonna make it up and we're gonna like laugh while we're doing it and maybe argue while we're doing it.
I mean, it really felt like this group of 4 women who were doing this weird thing in the world, trying to break a little new ground at every new place that we went to, you know.
We were doing this like hustle that felt like an adventure, and that has all changed and the adventure has become something new, but we're always doing something different and exciting, and I like being a part of that. I like that feeds me coming to work every day.
It's been a really natural progression, the relationship between the 4 of us creatively. Each person can have their own project, but then go to any of the other 3 and ask them for advice on color or whether an element is working or not.
Really different pieces of work would come out of this shop if any one of us was working alone. I think we all really deeply benefit from it, and it's shaped the aesthetic that Fort Lonesome puts out.
I feel so incredibly lucky to be a part of this crew and actually have a real input. I feel like we've developed the style of Fort Lonesome together from the very beginning, which is just an incredible opportunity.
What good that mounting sky for the grounded such as I? If feathered, how I'd fly.
I feel like for a garment to come out of Fort Lonesome, there needs to be like some aspect of it that feels surreal.
In a dream I carried you overseas deep by canoe.
The tradition of chain stitch coming from mid-century or the motorcycle world or coming from the country music world, those things, they all have this like accepted American normalcy that I think all the people in this room want to turn on its head a little bit. So if you see like a country western suit come out of here, we're gonna add something strange to it. We're gonna add something magical to it. And I think that you'll find that in most things that come out of here.
Opened up my mouth to shout, but what a song came out.
Our mission has been that you get to take this garment and you get to turn it into something that is meaningful, that you get to keep forever, that you get to pass on to your kids, or it just becomes an heirloom piece. We want you to hold on to that as something special, and so it doesn't just end up as another garment in the trash.
My hope is that people end up feeling connected to us like we feel connected to them, and in all of that, they appreciate and realize the scope of the project. And obviously, I have an intrinsic desire to help people understand how much labor and energy goes into the production of what we're making, and that can then translate into people appreciating how much labor and energy goes into the creation of most of the things that they're consuming in their daily lives.
This palette skin, weathered and thin like a birch tree, might as well grow into the ground. For though my head is heavy, my heart is ready and making a love under a sound. 'Cause I know I've seen it, I didn't dream it, I saw it. A low gliding goat skim the sea effortlessly, and then arc up with a call. Oh, my heart was full. hear what you said. Beneath the power lines, you ran ahead.
How I feel about where we are right now is I am just sort of in shock still. I feel extremely lucky. I feel like we really had a situation come along where we were in the right place at the right time. We have had a ton of really exciting opportunities come along to work with some great companies, great clients, musicians. It's been unreal. Like, it's just been a roller coaster, and it's been emotionally difficult and exhausting, but it's also been just a very rare set of circumstances that we've had.
Last year we had the opportunity to do an art show, and it was one of the only times that we have been able to all just kind of take our own individual ideas, throw it together, and kind of present something that was completely different than what we usually do. For the future of Fort Lonesome, I think that I would love to see more of that, for us to be able to do more of the fine art pieces and kind of expand outside of clothing and see what's possible.
We're always trying to figure out, where does this art fit in the world? There's so much potential in this art form. How can we try that on? How can we communicate that to people? I think when chain stitching re-emerged and it landed and people saw our machines, and it's like the satisfaction of getting a tattoo, the satisfaction of getting something put on your shirt, watching it happen, or the chemistry of it, the science of it, of you getting to walk away with something on your shirt, thrilled people. We've spent years learning how to do it. It's a craft to us now. We're all just trying to see what's possible. What are the boundaries of an art form?
One thing that we talk about a lot is the fact that chain stitching is popular right now, and eventually, whatever's popular in fashion becomes unpopular in fashion. And so, what do we do when that happens? I guess what I hope for Fort Lonesome is that we transcend those kind of trends. I think that we have done that. I hope that the world allows us to keep doing that.
In 10 years, I hope that there's still the same faces around that are here now, because I feel incredibly codependent on, on my team, and grateful for everything that we've been through together.